It's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. And love and tradition of the grand design, some people say is even harder to find. Well, then there must be some magic clue inside these gentle walls. 'Cause all I see is a tower of dreams, real love bursting out of every scene. As days go by, we're gonna fill our house with happiness. The moon may cry, but we'll smother the blues with tenderness. As days go by, there's room for you, room for me, for gentle hearts and opportunity. As days go by, it's the bigger love of the family.
Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. It's your boys from Poi and Soy. Glad you guys could join us today. Me and Jared are in a little bit of a different environment. We are currently out of town, but we knew you guys needed to hear our pod, so we brought our stuff with us to make sure you guys got all the goodies. With me today are my longtime friends. We'll start with Keoni.
What up?
And Jalen.
What up?
Oh, Jared.
Hello. How are you?
This is going great, guys. Woo! Today we're going to go through a few things. We're going to talk about Miss Marvel, episode 4. We're going to talk about The Boys, episode 7. Right? 7. And we're going to talk about Stranger Things, episodes 8 and 9, the finale of season 4. The first one we'll go through, Miss Marvel, episode 4. A lot of fun stuff. Jared, what'd you think of this episode?
To be honest, I was all right with it. It was kind of whatever, for me at least. In my opinion, we got a lot of backstory and in a lot of different things, but for me, to be honest, I can't wait for the next episode because I would say in the long run, we're all about the action, about everything else, and this one kind of gave you a little bit of it, but not everything that you were asking for. I did like that it was better than the episode before when we said I was kind of checking out in that aspect, but it kind of got me a little reeled back in that sense.
Nice. Jalen, I'll throw it over to you. What did you think of this episode?
Again, I just it felt better than the 3 previous episodes, but I think I said it earlier when we were doing a little pre-show. I wish this episode is kind of where the series started, and that's not even a spoiler for anything, by the way. This is just in case we're clear. It just the vibe and the pacing of this episode. I don't know if maybe this was later on when they were filming, but the performances were better in this episode too. It felt like the kids were kind of better at grasping their characters. And we got introduced to so many cool things in the episode regarding the surroundings of Kamala. Once she actually goes back home to go visit her nanny, that whole dynamic and aspect to me was just why did this not just start here? What this should have been from the jump, and then we can kind of roll back into the teen coming of age thing. But yeah, I very much enjoyed this episode, and if it can kind of keep this momentum into an odd number episode, maybe Keoni's theory will help out episode 5 going forward, as it did not help out episode 3 too much. But hey, here we are. But yes, that's what I thought.
Kind of rolling over with Keoni. Jalen did just mention, obviously, this is an even-numbered episode, and I believe you said previously that you did enjoy this so far in the series as the best episode. Let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, so I think that episode 4 was definitely the best episode we've seen thus far. I think it's weird. I was just thinking, I was like, would it be weird to just tell somebody to start at this episode and then go back? Because I feel like this would have been, you're right, this definitely would have been one of those episodes. I feel like they could have just did like we said, like start here and then be like 5 days ago or like a week ago, and then go back to all the other stuff that we were watching for the last 3 episodes. But yeah, I mean, I still, like I said, I'm still enjoying the show. I'm enjoying all of these cultural references. I think that they're getting deeper into like all of the different cultural stuff. Even as they're like diving into the Marvel-esque portion of the show, I think one thing that they're doing really well is just tying it to the culture while also staying Marvel relevant. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like they're not going out of their way to just throw these, cultural references in. They're all tying in to the world of Marvel. So I'm not sure. We'll probably get more into that as we continue discussing. But yeah, that's one of those things I'm really enjoying about the show right now.
Gotcha. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed this episode. There was a lot more because there's been sprinkles of kind of action or I guess you could say suspense in some ways in the previous 3 episodes. This one definitely had a longer serving of it, which was nice because we got that whole car chase scene, the chase in general, kind of going through some training with red daggers. That was definitely kind of fun to see. I will say, in kind of contrast to what you guys were discussing, where it would have been nice to see kind of how this started and then do like kind of like a 5 days ago kind of thing, where maybe it started the first episode with her being chased with by the, I'm sorry, what were their names? The
Clandestines.
Yes.
That's nice.
And then kind of going back into it. I don't know how I feel if that would have worked. Just because of how the kind of gradual, more slower pace of the first 3 episodes. I don't know if it would have been kind of too much of a lull and drop off, because I feel like each episode thus far has been a slight crescendo upward in kind of giving us more exciting nuggets. So I don't know. I mean, I do like the idea of if they had done that, but I don't know if that would have been more beneficial, because I feel like they would have started off with somewhat of a bang, and then it's kind of like doo, 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 and then we get back to episode 4 and it's like, oh, okay, we're back in it. So I don't know. For me, I think the way they've kind of structured it is working in respects to what it is, so that we can kind of see hopefully even more juicy stuff in episode 5 and so on and so forth. Perfect. All right. So that's our take on Miss Marvel. Coming up right now, we are going to talk about The Boys, episode 7. Jesus Christ. There were a lot of good things in this episode. I think it was a pace-wise, a little bit of a step back. Not that it wasn't a good episode, just a little pace-wise slower. I'll start it off. I really enjoyed the information we got kind of on all parts. Going into, I'll start small with the Deep and his wife and that creepy relationship.
That's one way to put it. Yeah,
That's a great way to put it.
You mean the bestiality that we witnessed for 2
not
straight
looking
episodes
to eat
now?
octopus anytime soon. And
Like calamari or something?
No.
the what?
No
No
calamari, no
calamari.
octopus.
First of all,
no.
that's a squid.
But it's the same.
A mollusk, as the Deep would said. It's a mollusk.
Yes.
But I think it was a good episode because there was a lot more character development. I was not expecting us to get a deep dive into Butcher, because that was intense. I thought he was going to come to some sort of character flip, and then he kind of just shoots himself in the foot right at the end there with Huey, because I was like, yeah, this is your moment. Save Huey, because you love Huey like you loved your little brother, and you respect him in that way. Nope, let's go get some more Temp V and kill ourselves. I love it. I have a hot take that I'll get to after you guys kind of share your thoughts as well. And of course, the big reveal at the end of episode 7. That
My God.
apparently
Woof.
Soldier Boy is the father of Homelander.
Who's your daddy?
Apparently it's Homeland. No, I mean it's
Homelander.
Soldier Boy.
I
Um,
am your
but yeah.
father.
That okay, Jared, you're ready to talk. What do you think of this episode?
Oh.
Nah, like to be honest though, like I really liked the episode because it wasn't just about that, like what you just talked about. I feel like it was a straight origin stories for a lot of different people. You know, we got to learn about Black Noir, like
Oh yeah,
who
Noir. That was a
we never,
good portion. I
yeah,
like that.
yeah. Me and Emily were talking about. It's like he needed that portion of who he is and why he is the way he is, and you know, he was kind of like Soldier Boy's bitch in a sense. So in that sense of everything. You know, you got to learn a little bit of that. You got to learn a little bit about Homelander and how, like you said, like Luke, I am your father kind of thing. And but I think I do think in the long run it was a little slower of an episode, but I do think it was an episode where it explained a lot of different things. Lenny, Black Noir, like how Homelander is actually really um, Soldier Boy's son. So there was a lot of informational things. So per se, it wasn't the best action packed thing. And I know there was a whole lot of thing with the finding of what was it? Mind. What's his name? Mind. I'm losing it
Oh,
right now. But
Mindstorm.
like,
Mindstorm.
thank you, the
Yeah.
Mindstorm. But at the same time, like you got a whole like backstory of everybody and anybody that you actually haven't gotten in a very long time, and why Soldier Boy actually is the way he is, and so and with how Homelander is who he is in that aspect, and now it's going to be kind of interesting going forward because it's I'm your father now. It's do they have a team up and they turn around the whole they turn tides in every aspect, or is it gonna be like, hey, like I'm still better than you? But you know, there's a lot of questionable errors in that aspect for me, at least.
Nice,
Agreed.
good. No, I like the points. Keoni, I'll throw it over to you. What were your thoughts on this episode? I know it's an even numbered or odd numbered episode, and you're 0 for 2 this week on odd numbered episodes.
Wow,
Wow.
Am
I
I
don't think it's
though?
over two.
Am I though?
Well, which one was
I
better,
think
Hero
I
Gasm or this
actually
one?
I'll say story development
God
wise,
damn.
this was
Okay, that's
definitely a
fair.
better
That's
episode.
fair.
I was just like, I mean,
He's guts.
obviously you can't beat the amount of gaudiness that was in the last episode, but as far as content wise, what we got from the story point, I think that this was a better episode. But obviously, like what the reveal was a big part of the episode, but I really enjoyed the kind of like Looney Tunes esque cartoon show we got for Black Noir. I thought that was really cool the way that they did
Yes.
that. It kind of shows like where he is mentally. Obviously, when they
He
kind of
got
show that he has like
head
half a
bashed
brain
in.
kind of
Yeah.
deal. Yeah, I mean, it would make sense that he kind of attaches to like this kind of childhood cartoon reality thing he has got going on or whatever. So I thought that was really a really really cool thing to kind of have throughout the episode. I was happy that they finally kind of brought the team somewhat together as far as bringing Frenchie back into the fold and kind of getting him back with and Starlight.
Kimiko.
So that was another cool
Star,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, Kimiko and all of them. Yeah, so it was just nice to have the kind of I guess they're like the moral compass group in a sense, back together and for um, them to kind of help out I feel like was kind of not falling apart, but to have them come back kind of gave him a
Ooh,
little
in
bit
that
more. Um,
confrontation scene.
yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Ugh.
That's
The
why I
the
like.
the family scene. Yes.
Yeah. That's why I'm just happy to have him kind of reeling it back in a little bit because I definitely don't want to see him lose his moral compass. I don't want to see him kind of turn to the dark side like we've already seen with Huey and Butcher. But um, as far as Huey and Butcher, it is kind of interesting to finally see Huey kind of remember who he is a little bit. I thought that was a really cool development in the episode. So that was something that I was like, I'm not. I mean, I guess not. I was. Well, no, I was surprised a little bit because I honestly thought that they were just gonna have him flip full dark side as we're getting later into these episodes. But who knows? Maybe something will happen. Maybe Starlight will die later on, and then it'll kind of give him just that extra like motivation to like be full butcher. But at this point, I said like when they dropped the bomb at the end, I think I literally sent I sent Jalen one of these faces. Like I was just like, what?
Oh.
Because I don't know what comic wise it's supposed to their relationship's supposed to be, but that was a pretty big thing for me. Though, because up until this point, the one thing I was kind of like confused about was why Homelander was so afraid of him. Because before he kind of got the nuclear powers, he was just kind of like you said, like Captain America, like douchebag Captain America. So I didn't understand his fear over hearing his name and all this stuff because at first he wasn't really like a threat as far as powers were concerned. So
I think it was
this
more of they
definitely
didn't
gave
know
us.
if he was actually, because it was. I mean, they were technically never around at the same time. So yes, Homelander is
Gotcha.
the upgrade, but
Yeah,
they have to kind of test that and see: are you actually the
that's
upgrade?
true.
Am I?
That's true. I just feel like for me it was one of those things. I was like he didn't have the nuclear stuff yet, so I
Yeah.
was like I don't understand what besides that would have been a threat to him. But yeah, up until this point, I had no context, and then that little bomb at the end that got me. So I am so excited for the show. How many more episodes are there in this season?
One.
Oh, they
It's
have
going
to.
down.
It's going
Oh
down.
man, I know we're about to lose all the shows all at one time, but anyway,
We'll still have Miss
Be
that's what I
Marvel.
careful
like about the
losers
show.
because that's gonna be the hit right there. It's an even number episode.
Right.
Uh-huh. Everything's
It's
going
like
down
it's
the
gonna be such
drain.
a it's gonna be a letdown of a finale for both Miss Marvel and the Boys, even episodes.
Going based off of everything, yes.
Jalen, I'll let you cap it off for us. What'd you think of this episode? Thoughts, goodies, baddies?
God damn it! There you go.
I
with
know.
the
Here we
baddies
go with the
again, man.
baddies
God,
again.
what are you? You
God.
can't just be throwing that
You just
out
can't
there. It's
keep being
2022. But
that cannot be a theme of our show.
gee, home of the baddies. Anyway, no, it was very much a slower paced episode, but what we got in that slower pace was just more delicious writing and character plot development. Again, literally, like I Noir was irrelevant in this entire 3 seasons until this episode to me. Like now we had a little bit of it in the beginning of the season where it's like, oh, he was there with Soldier Boy, so like he has that connection. So like, that's kind of interesting or whatever to see that flashback episode. But now they really like kind of put it all together like they always do, seemingly in the show. And you have this whole backstory of like what he went through from that point to now. So again, I agree with everybody that that was an amazing thing to see. And like I said in the last episode, per the comics, it literally only gets worse for them because now Homelander and Soldier Boy are going to probably have that really weird and like toxic, but also somehow proud to be American relationship with each other where they're like father and son just being complete assholes to everybody. This is where it's going to hit the fan, as I said before. I don't remember in the comics if this was the exact route. My gut's telling me it was more of like they had kind of like a more of like romantic relationship, like they fell in love with each other after Herogasm, but I can't remember if that's correct or not. But I will have to double check my sources. But
Because that would add a
it's cool if
whole
they do that
level of
little
nasty.
adaptation.
That would-
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
really
don't know
thought
if the
that's where.
actors
Yeah.
were maybe. It's one of those things they might have just adapted it because maybe the actors weren't about doing it like that accurately, which is fine. Like do whatever. But I like I said, it's literally only gonna get worse once they actually decide to team up, and decide to wreak havoc on the rest of our heroes. A scorching hot take. I do love I love.
Oh no.
I love Frenchie. I love Starlight. But I'm real tired. I'm gonna laugh in all of their faces when they're out here on their little high horse thinking that doing things the right way is how you get stuff done, and it's not. All right, you don't like Butcher because he says mean words to you, but the dude gets things done. Period. End of story. And like they're gonna get absolutely shit canned. I'm sorry, they are going to get absolutely blown into bits, gone, dusted if they do not decide to team up. Because if you haven't noticed, we kind of have like 3 teams going on right now. We have like Homelander's team with the 7. We have Huey and what's left over with Butcher and, well, most of it until later, Soldier Boy. And then we have Starlight, MM, Frenchie, and Kimiko. So, like, at some point in this finale, all of them are going to have to come together. And the little, like, let's do it the right way team is going to have to be like, oh, well, that kind of sucks and it doesn't work. So we're going to have to just go do it Butcher's way. And it's going to be amazing. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. But I can't wait. I'm really interested to see what happens with that. What is it? The Nina? Or what is the
Russian?
The other lady's name from... Or Nadia. Maybe it's
Nadia.
Nadia.
Wait, which one? Nadia?
Oh,
the head popper.
The Russian?
Yeah,
Nadia,
I
the
want to see what
Marvel-ish.
her end is going to be in the end of this season, because she's been really interesting for me, and they kind of just like left it alone for 2 episodes. So I'm wondering if they're going to kind of give her something
Loop
to
her
do
back in.
this finale.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
So those are our takes on The Boys Season 3, Episode 7. Let us know what you guys thought. Next thing we're going into is the season finale. Last 2 episodes, part 2 of Season 4 for Stranger Things. Kind of going to start off with a kudos to Jalen, because he brought up the Eddie dies. We didn't want to see it, but we saw it, and he died. Eddie the Banished went out like a noble warrior. He didn't run. He fought, and it was glorious, and I'm sad to see him go.
Well done, sir. Well done, sir. You the man.
Just kind of running through it, we'll kind of start off on a different note. People who died this episode. The douchebag jock. Hell yeah. I was hoping his death would have been a little more satisfying than rather than just a quick disintegration. But I'm glad Lucas kind of decked him a few times, knocked him out cold for a bit. Technically, Max did die. Her heart stopped for a minute, as Lucas mentioned in the hospital. We're still, I think Eleven's still kind of looking to see where she may be, if she's in her mind at all. That's kind of those are the only deaths that really happened, if I'm not mistaken.
Papa?
Oh, Papa.
You're just gonna leave Papa out in the dust here? The guy started the whole thing, huh?
Yeah.
What is the name of the
Wow.
episode?
Poor guy.
I mean, technically one's not
It's
dead.
like military
One
police
is not
guy
dead, I'm
1,
sorry.
2, 3, and 4. They all died.
One is not
too.
dead.
Wow, Nolan.
One is not dead. I said, I'm sick of you guys. I'm sick of it. Anyways, yes, Papa died.
Together, Nolan.
Got shot. Kaka. He was downed. No one was able to res him in time. Definitely bit the dust.
Didn't have
Should've bought
comms.
Didn't have
Terrible.
comms. Didn't get a self-revive at the store. But hey, that's what happens. That's what happens.
What a
Are you playing
noob.
Rebirth? Are you playing Rebirth?
But yeah,
Everybody had self-revive?
there definitely was a body count in overall. Military police 1, 2, 3, 4. All of them died. I'm sure there was a ton of deaths in Hawkins when the ground erupted in red glowing chaos. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought. Was this a good end to the season given how dynamic and powerful the first 7 episodes were? Jalen, I'll kind of toss it over to you. What did you think?